testing.
We're on.
What?
You didn't test Greg's mic.
My mic.
No, I heard it.
He just likes to do this.
He loves to do this. He likes to just go, we're on. We're on.
We're on.
He starts the show when
Yeah.
we're not prepared.
Whatever. We got it.
Look at him. He's
Well,
all-
Mateo, introduce our guest, goddammit.
Yeah, here's Mark Henley.
Hey, what's up?
That's not much of an introduction.
Okay, you do it then.
You gotta be like the big dog of Comedy Fight Club
Yeah.
is here.
Big Dog
Okay.
Comedy
You
Fight Club,
say-
the BXG.
You say good friend of mine,
Right.
Mark Henley.
We're not good friends. He won't even tell me what his job is.
I won't tell anyone.
Before the show, we were talking in the car, and Mateo was like, I also work from home. And Mark was like, I work from home also. What do you do? And Mateo was like, it's a very secretive operation. I cannot tell you that. Look at him.
He's a spy. You're a
He's
Russian
all in on
spy.
Pink now too.
What?
Yeah.
You're like all in on Pink now. Is that
Yeah, I love pink.
I
Yeah.
think Mateo also has a lot of animosity right now because we booked you instead, but
I don't have animosity.
Jerry Lolly was supposed to be on the show.
I don't have animosity because I actually thought about that. Like this thing in a room, we can't fit everyone. And Jerry Lawler's a big guy; he can't fit in a computer chair.
Not that big.
Okay, whatever.
He's not that
Are
big.
you saying he's?
But, I mean, he's no big dog.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
Jerry, me and Jerry take up that much different
Right,
amount
yeah.
of space in the
No,
world.
but
No, no.
I
You say that
was
one-
considering Exhibit A in the room, which you can't see. It's a
How can you say that when we have the big dog on
Yeah.
the show?
Jerry's no big dog, but he is a great guest to get.
Yeah,
he
well,
is a good guest.
We wanted him.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's not.
I don't know. Mateo kept saying all week, we owe him a spot.
owe him.
I owe him nothing.
you booked him and they canceled. You booked him. You owe it to him.
He canceled, didn't he?
Tell him.
I don't even know.
And you know what? He's banned from the show now.
Okay, fine.
Your best friend, Jerry Lawley, banned from the show.
Not true. I just feel like we owe him a spot.
What if it's revealed that you actually work for Jerry Lawley? That's what you do for a living. That's why I was so tight-lipped about it.
We're gonna get him on, but I wanted him on with a specific person. I wanted
Okay.
I wanted him on with Kate Lawler.
Okay.
And I wanted to do a love game. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do a
Oh,
match
oh,
game with
oh,
them.
okay,
That's
okay.
why I wanted him on.
Damn, that
Oh.
would be a fucked up timeline if they get together.
Oh, I mean that's what I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And I wanted him to take Kate's name,
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler. What I wanted.
That's good. That's a good premise.
One of the last times I saw him, I think he came to like a fight club and he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about going to see like the Suicide Squad in like a week or two. You want to go?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'll let you know." He's like, "All right, but we have to go see it in Queens." I'm like, "All right, I'm not sure if I want to go or not." And like he kept
Yeah.
like being like, "Okay, but we have to do like Friday at 5." I'm like, "Okay, I'm not sure I want to go."
Yeah, that's why him and Mateo get along because
Yeah.
I can see that the same fucking thing. Mateo wants to invite us to go see Taxi Driver at 12:00 at night, like it wasn't on Netflix.
Yeah.
But it's the experience of
It's
going to the
experience.
movies.
It was not even digital. It was being broadcast in 16 millimeter from a projector film.
I told you to fucking leave that geek shit back in Manhattan.
I know what. Yeah.
And Mark, you right now you're breaking barriers because I banned the entire New Jersey comedy scene
All of New
from the
Jersey
show.
comedy scene. Oh my
And
god.
you are now you've just broken the.
You are the
barrier.
Jackie Robinson of New
What does
Jersey.
New Jersey comedy scene do to
Well,
you guys?
I technically consider you a New York comic.
Hell yeah, dude.
I do as well, actually.
I'll say I got a foot in both worlds. You know, I'm like
Well,
Big
like
Dog of Fight Club and also the King of New Jersey.
yeah, no, they've done nothing, but I just wanted to ban them.
Yeah, I think it's a good proactive measure, you know?
Right.
Before all the Jersey weirdos just start tumbling into
What a scene.
into this room.
Well, we would like that. We We would like,
Yeah.
but also Comedy Fight Club kind of has all of them. You
Now
guys,
we do,
but
yeah.
you have a monopoly on all the New Jersey freaks.
You really do.
We have to
I
make our
haven't
own.
been keeping following. Is that true, Mark?
There is a lot of New Jersey freaks, and there's an untapped potential amongst them.
I like
and
how-
Comedy Fight Club is exploiting them the most currently.
Mateo asks Mark about the Jersey freaks like he's fucking Ted Koppel. It's like, is that true, Mark? Do you have?
What do you say these allegations?
Well, it's a funny scene because I mean not intentionally funny, but
Yeah.
but it's a funny scene where you get these lunatics.
It's because there's no upward mobility.
There's
There's no
zero.
moving up in
Yeah.
New Jersey comedy. All there is just like getting mad at each other.
Yeah.
And everyone dates one person, and then you break up, and then you divide over that.
So true.
Then she switches to someone else, and there's new alliances. It's kind of that's what you do, you know?
really?
So, but in New York, there's like somewhere to go. So
Right.
people actually have a thing to fight
Yeah.
for, so they fight more intensely.
Right.
But like, it's different though.
yeah, of course.
It's
like-
also New York. It's the whole scene,
Yeah.
and there's pockets. You know, New Jersey is just one scene to me.
yeah, it really is.
That's why banning them all, not playing favorites, obviously.
right.
is what we wanted to do.
I mean, there was this one guy, Mateo. Listen to this. There was this one guy. His name was Tyler, and he was an absolute lunatic. And they were all like, when I went back to New Jersey, they were like, "This guy Tyler's a problem." And I literally was like, "Dude, like, why?" And they're just like, "Because he's fucking out of his mind. He comes down to mics. He stares at people. I don't know, like."
Yeah.
Like, he's weird.
You know how there's like little things that you do in comedy where like if someone's doing a set, you generally wait till the end of it before you get up. He would just get up and then walk around, but like, which doesn't seem that bad. But he would like stand for like 2 straight minutes next to his chair, and then he would walk.
Right.
Like just all these weird attention grabbing things.
Very odd person. And I'm just like, listen, I've done mics at Creek in the Cave, and like people, I used Mateo as an example. People would think that Mateo was an absolute lunatic.
Yeah.
Which he kind of is.
Not far off.
Yeah.
Not far off. But I was like, I've met like guys like like at the Creek where they're fucking nuts. Like how bad could this Tyler be?
Yeah.
Where's this going?
Then I met this Tyler.
Yes.
And my God, he was an absolute nut. Then a couple months later, I get an article sent to me where this man, Tyler, he beat up a cop with a sledgehammer. What did he do?
It's a regular hammer. He hit a cop in the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
He got too drunk and the cop drove him home, and then he was like, "I'm gonna get this cop for this." And then he just took a hammer and hit him in the head with it. We haven't seen him since.
How dare you not arrest me?
So, my point being, at least the Jersey comedy scene, you have a good judge of character there.
Yeah, and and then afterwards people are talking and they're like, he was like sending all these guys like DMs trying to have sex with them and stuff.
Which is hysterical.
Guys or women?
I think he would
Guys,
he would kind of like talk to I think he would lay it around. He was going to everybody because the women would also be like, he like messages us things that he can have any woman he wants at any time, just like weird.
That's hysterical though. What a fucking sociopath.
And he's like trying to like have sex with like Alex Dulesky and Josh Wells. Which I think are like Josh
at the same time.
I think at different times, but the idea of just trying to, I don't know, a guy trying to have sex with Josh Wells.
You can have any woman at any time. I can have any of you at any time. It's a rapist mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was out of his mind, and you find that.
Did you ever see his male model thing? He had like a whole like profile about like his like on a male model like social media site, and it was like why he'd be a great male model, and he had this whole
he had a whole like bio.
You know
Like
what's
a
really
bio.
disturbing about that? I know how much money it takes into building a website.
Right.
To get that published, he probably paid up to $5,000.
He probably
For
did.
sure didn't.
Yeah.
But it was it was an already made site. It was
I'm saying some of those already made are 5,000.
But it was just like a whole rambling thing about how he wants to be a model because he knows he's beautiful and this will help him at stand-up comedy.
Yeah, the first line of like his pitch was like, I'm ridiculously good looking or something.
Yeah, he was
It was like
he was like the closest to real like Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
yeah.
And he not as effective in that he didn't get on the Tonight Show. He just hit a cop with a hammer. Never quite made it to that thing.
I mean,
The last time I saw him, I was at Reserve Club, which is a mic for crazy people.
Yeah.
And then there's some normals there, and then the normals kind of like slowly but surely get more and more angry with the crazy.
yes.
And he was just there, and he gets up and he like just mumbles for like a while and talk about how mental illness is hard. And then I just sit next to the door. I'm like, I'm getting out of here if he starts freaking out. And he does like a minute and then just gets off stage and sits down. I never see him again.
That was it. That was the last time.
Just, kind of.
Has there been a meltdown in the New Jersey scene recently?
There are meltdowns, but I almost feel like I'll lose King of New Jersey status if I expose all the scenes. There's a big drama right now.
Really?
There's a whole bunch of different dramas at different points.
It's always something, right?
Yeah.
The breaking up and recoupling thing is the big one.
I've heard some things.
Yeah.
It's a funny scene where people just I don't know.
It's like an episode of Jerry Springer.
It
It's
really
very
is.
much-
It
yeah.
kinda feels
Always
like one.
something.
A lot of them are
Yeah.
they're around,
And then some people don't get involved. Like a Josh Wells is just a good dude that has just avoided all of the drama for years. Just people come and go. And
He's
have
like the
breakdowns.
Undertaker of the Jersey
Yeah.
scene.
So well respected.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the locker room.
Yeah.
It's just because he's just not having giant emotional breakdowns all the time.
There was a time when Ryan Rummel bumped Mark Yobbs at a show, and Josh Wells was waiting for him in the green room with brass knuckles.
Yobbs, he's a good. So like there's kind of like there's like the crazy people like the Sick Vics who are like a guy a ski mask. Just
Oh,
does
that guy.
one-liners.
Sick Vic is like the Ric Flair of the Jersey City.
Yeah, let me explain who Sick Vic is. He's sick. Oh no,
Sick fuck.
That's not for question. He is sick.
he does these one-liners, and
I'm not suffering from insanity. I love it. You know.
yeah, like that sort of thing. And yeah, he's like he's an older guy.
Yeah.
How old?
He's gotta be
60? 60
I was
something.
picturing
But
that.
he goes by Sick Vic, which is always a welcoming thing for audiences.
Yeah.
And he hisses on stage. He'll hiss. Like his joke will like bomb and like that.
It
And
doesn't seem to go with bombing. Some jokes he just goes, all right, his time.
Yeah. You got him. He's a nut. You got this Youssef. This guy
Okay.
Youssef.
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
he's out of his mind.
He's out of his mind. That guy.
We judged Fight Club, and he lost to another comic,
To
and
Aaron, yeah.
to Aaron, and he accused like the judges of being like on her side or something.
yeah.
And I'm listening to this as not as because it was about me and Greg.
Yeah.
So I'm like so retarded where I'm like, yeah, the judges were probably on. I'm like, you were the fucking judge. What the fuck? I was like, oh no.
I remember that he showed up dressed like Luis Gomez.
Yeah.
And then he gets on stage, he's all happy, and everyone's like, "Why are you dressed like Luis Gomez?" He's like, "What?" And then he like starts immediately getting shook. And then he does his first joke, and he's like getting laughs, and he's like, "Hell yeah!" And then he just like does it for too long, and everyone's like, "Actually, he doesn't know what he's doing."
Yeah.
And then just bombs the rest
I
of the
mean,
battle.
the every great like story needs a setting, and the setting in the New Jersey comedy scene is the Wawa.
Yes.
There's a
Yeah.
place called Wawa.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
It's a social club. When at the early at the post pandemic, what was it?
Well,
June of
it was pretty much
2020.
in
the pandemic.
Yeah,
we
it
were
was-
just hanging out.
It was like it was
Yeah.
like
It was
still the
still in that.
pandemic,
Yeah.
right? And like that was the only place where you can really do comedy.
Yeah.
And then June of 2020, July, the summer of 2020, that New York started opening back up.
Yeah.
So those first 2 months, everyone was at Wawa, and then like New York started opening back up, so everyone started going back to New York, and then whoever was left at the Wawa was there.
Yeah.
Right. And then it kind of everything reclosed again because it was like the winter, and then everyone went back, and then slowly you started seeing like actual like a few comics from the city go there.
Yeah.
So they had like something really good. But then all of a sudden you're hearing people snort coke in the bathroom, and
Yeah, there's like different eras
There's
of
a-
Wawa. There's the period of time where you guys were coming in from Staten Island.
Yeah.
You guys were all really good, so like you like had like a pretty like I think good shows, like good like pretty like fun.
yeah,
scene.
because even like Matt Marin, like when I saw him there once, I was like, oh shit, like, oh okay, so like you know, I go by him sometimes where it's like, if he's somewhere, I'm like, okay, I'm not wasting my time here.
Yeah, but you guys I think were there, and then like the Fifth Borough comedy thing where we did like the Fight Club there. That was like
Yeah,
really fun.
that was great.
And like there were some good times, but like there was like at one point everyone was just doing drugs all the time to the point where like if you like guest hosted the mic, you'd have to say like no one's allowed to do drugs here.
I know, yeah.
One person in the bathroom at a time. Because if two people were in the bath at the same time, they were just doing coke together.
Or sexual stuff.
Yeah, not so much.
Not so much.
Not,
It was
not,
really
not unless
fun
Tyler
at
was
the-
there.
yeah.
If Tyler
Okay.
was there.
This was a pure
Yeah.
fucking
And
drug
drug
fueled.
drugs and comedy.
Yeah.
Very little.
It was a
sex.
halfway house with a bar.
Yeah.
And there were these regulars that you would know, like there was Diamond Dave,
Yeah.
who was like
Oh,
some
that
long-haired
guy.
guy that would say the N-word sometimes.
yeah.
And then there was Tuna, who was just like some guy that sleeps there.
There's a guy named Tuna,
Yeah,
right?
there was a woman with a dog.
that lady
Yeah.
who like threatened to call the cops because no one wanted to hang out with her. That's why. It's a backdrop.
And that dog is filthy,
Filthy.
too. Old and filthy. Like
How long is the hair on it?
Oh, it's like one of those like what kind of dog is that?
I don't even
It's like some
know.
sort of white, like
Yeah,
hypoallergenic dog.
it's
yeah.
not. The dog is just. It's white, but it's brown hair because it doesn't get bathed.
Like,
or
Yeah.
anything.
I
They
love
don't
dogs,
bathe
but that's the ugliest animal I've ever seen.
it. And she just walks in with it, and yeah, she tried to call the cops because nobody wanted to hang out with her one night.
Yeah, everyone was like, "No one wants to hang out with you, lady." And then she's like, "Okay, I call police now."
Yeah, the place just gets weirder and weirder, and you don't see it till other people show up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
At some point, there's a guy named Steve Poston who's a great dude. I love
Yeah.
Steve. At one point, I bought camouflage Crocs. They're the ugliest shoes I've ever seen. I was
Yeah.
like, these would be funny to wear. And then Steve also bought them, so we had matching shoes for a bit. But he's a good dude, and he like he draws all the comedians.
Yeah.
And some are good, but some are very bad.
You're being very nice to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Some are bad. and he they started like hanging his pictures up at Wawa.
Yeah, I know.
Well, were they
everyone's
framing him
performing.
and shit?
Yes.
Yeah, framed.
Oh my god.
And I was there one time. It was like a regular mic, and then Sean Gardini was there, and Sean he like
Yeah.
you know, he's like producing like
Yeah,
Shane Gillis. He's
yeah,
like doing
of
a bunch of
course.
stuff.
Yeah.
We're sitting next to each other, and he's like, who are those pictures of behind everybody? And I'm like, it's all the comics. He's like, why are all of them terrible? And I'm like, some are okay.
I thought they were supposed to be intentionally bad.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
No,
And
I
then-
think.
No, he's not. No, because he
Yeah.
explained to me one night. Because I was like, I'm like, those pictures are hilarious, and he's just like, they're not supposed to be funny. I'm like, they're not.
Yeah, they're earnest attempts at
Yeah.
doing it, and he for like he was he did one that was so bad one time. It was of when Brian and Lauren were dating. He drew one of Lauren.
Yeah.
that was so
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
that
yeah.
everyone was kind of like, this is actually fucked up for
Yeah,
me
yeah.
to post.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't just draw like a really ugly drawing of a girl,
Yeah.
especially
Right.
with a pretty girl. Like,
Exactly.
I feel like that's not.
Because
Yeah.
she's an attractive girl, and then you're like looking at this picture,
And then you look at her,
and then you're looking at her. I'm like,
She
not
goes
that
out with
good looking.
Yeah. She goes out with
Then she
Brian.
was going out with Brian.
You're like,
St.
I
John.
knew there was something up with
I'm
you.
like, what's going on here?
He had to like redraw her and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really bad.
He drew Brian's face onto hers. That's what it looked like. But
It's such an interesting. It's such an
Yeah.
interesting scene. It's like one of the most. If you are like a comic, just go there, go to one mic and just
Yeah.
hang out with these people, and they are characters.
Yeah, if you just go to one every once in a while, you'll get booked on some of the shows. You'll be part of the scene. Like it's fun and it's fun. Everyone does genuinely seem to like each other.
Yeah, they get along.
Or actually, there's all right. So there's a group of like normals, and then there's sort of like weirdos that like can hang with the normals, and then there's complete weirdos,
Yes,
like the sick Vics, and there's other people that like Mark Random hangs out sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
I've seen him
Like,
there.
those people those people never get embraced by the main group. But like if you're like somewhat normal, like you'd be fine there.
yeah, which I don't understand why Mark Random is in the sick Vic category. He should really be in the
It's-
middle.
Nah, he's
No.
too because certain people like you're like one of the odder guys in New York, Mateo.
Yeah.
you would be like a Jersey like normal. You would fit in.
No, but I
Everyone would
get
like-
booked
yeah.
plenty compared to these people.
Yeah, because to be like a true Jersey weirdo, you can't make any friends with anybody.
right.
That
Yeah.
is true. Yeah,
You have to be a loner. That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mateo's like a happy puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He makes friends very easily. You never
Very.
think it, but he does.
I do.
Mark Random, I think it might be Mark Random's only friend. I don't think I'm really.
I don't want to call him a friend. I'll call him an acquaintance or a business associate. Because I will
How
book
are
him.
you a business associate?
I will book him on podcasts for
business,
weird.
Pascal and Random.
Let me finish.
This is-
I will book him on podcasts just to hear his ramblings of a madman for monetization on YouTube.
He was demonetized.
Do you
No,
think-
I am. Because
Do you
I'm,
think he
you
works
are.
for Mark Random? That's why he won't
shut up.
I like Mateo though because I think some people like back in New York will sometimes try to like dismiss him. And I think that's a sign of bad character.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's grown to be normal. That's what.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
disturbing part of it.
I know. I tried hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are trying way too hard. You got to cut it back a little bit. I want the old Mateo back when he would just blurt things out like Sinbad. Like that.
No, we did a mic. Wait, no, you did our show at Eastville.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And you fucking left the light on. I'm like, what is this?
So
I'm like,
I
he
had,
returned back to old Mateo.
that is
Yeah.
true. So I had a show at Eastville, and
Well, first off, wait, explain what happened at the mic though. The week before that, we did a mic out here. We brought Mateo to this mic in
Yeah.
Staten Island. And supposedly he went up and just yelled. What'd you yell at a lady?
oh, it was playing crowd work. I was trying to work on crowd work. So I have this whole thing in my head. Where, like, I said to a woman, "Yo, what would you do?" I've been watching a lot of pornography lately because I have a horrible addiction. And I love the thing more I love than the sex and porn is the dialogue.
Yeah.
What would you do if a guy said to you, if you were just like on a third date, ma'am, you got a scrumptious looking pussy?
Yeah, he said this.
scrumptious looking pussy. You said this to a
Said
a
this
woman?
to at least a 19-year-old girl.
Well,
or
here's
it's
the
not-
something.
thing,
well,
like, you can kind of on stage point to any guy and ask any sex question.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't really do it to women.
They-
the
That
same
was
way.
the
Yeah.
point because I was seeing all these
Yeah.
clips of Patrice O'Neal doing that to women.
Yeah.
You're not Patrice O'Neal.
No, I'm trying to be the anti, like reversing a weird thin white guy doing it.
No one looks at you and goes, "That guy reminds me of Patrice O'Neal." No one even looks at you and goes, "That guy reminds me of Gilbert Godfrey."
Yeah.
Fucking.
Probably.
So at this show that was running, Mateo came down. He weaseled his way on the show, But he was a big help because he was taking pictures.
You
and all
asked me
that.
to, I do it.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
like to say, Weasel, I did your service. You pay quid pro quo.
So I'm like, all right, Mateo, you could do 5 at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And he bows to me as he does. And at the end of the show, I because I was doing the light and in Eastville, you have the stoplight.
Yeah.
And I kept the light on until I went on stage. I guess I should have just given the light, but I wanted to make sure the comic saw it.
Yeah.
So the comic before him, I kept the light. I gave the comic a light. I kept it on. Mateo goes on the stage with the light on. And after about a minute, he thinks he got the light. So he wound up only doing 2 minutes.
Nah, that's not true at all. He did like 5.
I did 6.
No, you didn't.
I have the video footage.
You did not
450.
do 6.
We're gonna have to see this video footage.
Okay.
That's the only way to get this
He did
on
4.
this.
He did 4 minutes. No, he
450.
You
I
did
saw
2
that. I saw it on
minutes.
his cam. What, are you doing this for comedic effect?
No.
Because you know you don't do that on the show. We're very literal people.
I know.
Well, I am. I don't know about you two.
You did about 2 minutes, Mateo.
Okay. I can my
Are you
joke.
challenging me on
No,
how I
I'm-
take things
no,
literally?
No. That's what I'm saying. Joke wise, the longest I've ever done is 20. I can do 20, but I did 2. I'm just saying I have lots of material. I thought I was getting lit in early.
Right.
So back to the Mateo being normal. No, what's it called? We were talking about the tiers of freakdom in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Mark Random, who I don't know why he's thrown in because he doesn't even show up that much, does he?
goes
Well, he
to,
gets
like,
booked in gas, digital, and compound a lot, so that's what people give him credit.
He goes to mics like once, he
Yeah,
goes to like
I
one
always see
mic
him.
every once in a while. But so I don't think he's not. He
Yeah.
doesn't even go to the Wawa. The
I
Wawa,
actually I like Random.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no
don't mind
problem
him.
because a lot of people don't really know this, but like when the mics are off, he's only like half the person he is.
He
on
really
the-
is.
It is. It's true. It's really true.
Actually, a very nice guy when the mics are off.
Yeah.
When he's on stage, I don't know what happens, Mark.
It's just like ego.
But
I guess the bigger weirdos are there are people that you wouldn't even know. Like there's some guy like in New Brunswick named Winstein who like got banned from like he's like a black dude that got banned from Stress Factory for saying the N-word too much.
That seems like a
You
weird
know how
place.
unlikable you have to be a black guy that can't say the N-word.
oh my God,
Like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's very
So what
odd.
does he do? Like Comedy Cove instead?
No, he goes nowhere. He would just every once in a while go to this place called the George Street Co-op, and then he would do comedy, and then all the women would be like, "I hate him," and that would be it. Like a whole gender was like, "I hate this guy."
There's that other kid, Hakeem Law.
Oh yeah, but he kind of goes back and forth because sometimes he's normal, and then every once in a while he like really flips out.
He's the Antonio Brown of the New Jersey comedy scene. Yeah, there's that guy, and even his name, Hakeem Law.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he
that's
wanted to,
that's
like,
yeah.
he wanted to like beat everyone up, like not even like fuck everyone up, beat everyone up. It's
There was a point where
like I'll beat you up.
there was a point where Allie was real mad because there was a guy, and Allie Mae was real mad because there was a guy named Tilted Cone, who's another. That's a big,
Yeah, I
that's a
know
big
him.
Jersey weirdo.
That's
no
the
one
Sad
likes.
Boys guy.
Yeah, the hashtag Sad Boys.
I don't mind him. I think he listens to
He
the
listens
show.
to the show, so I don't mind him at all.
Yeah.
I don't.
We fucks with you, Tilted
Yeah,
Cone.
I like Tilted Cone.
We're hashtag Sad
Yeah.
Boys. Tilted
Yeah.
Cone. But he was saying the N-word, and Allie was very mad about that, and so she was like messaging people, being like, "Yeah."
Okay, we no longer fucks with you, Tilted Cone.
He's saying the
We
N-word.
worship you now.
He's saying the N-word publicly, and then she like had a post where she was saying like, everyone I've talked to has understood that Tilted Cone can't say the N-word except for Hakeem Law, which is weird because Hakeem's black. So I was like,
What an hilarious
I don't
alliance.
understand why. And then Hakeem, like the next comment is just, "I'll kill your family," which is not right, but is good comedic timing.
Yeah, very good.
Like,
It's sick comedic timing.
These people are insane.
Yeah.
Because Allie Brand is like she's becoming a bigger comic, so they're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
after her.
yeah, she's a nice person.
She shouldn't
like,
even
a
know
good
their
friend.
names.
Yeah. Yeah, she shouldn't be worrying about what these are doing.
They have
like,
so much integrity, though.
Yeah.
They don't care who
They
you
don't
are.
care.
They treat everybody the same.
they're like homeless people.
Yeah, more or less. Spare some change.
I mean, it's such it's so good. I'm glad to be kind of part of the scene because out here on Staten Island we had a small scene and we had freaks, but now we don't have any freaks.
See, 'cause I
No,
feel like you guys-
we still have freaks.
Or maybe
you guys
maybe we are
love
the
it.
freaks.
I
We
used
don't
to go
know.
to your shows and you guys like had all these freaks that you guys
Loved
seem to
it.
like.
Yeah.
Where you'd be like, it's this guy, and then it'd be just some old man. You guys were all like doing like a standing ovation for some guy, and then he would be like, "What'd it do?" or something. He had some catchphrase, and everyone's like, "Ah!"
Thinking of my cousin Russ.
yeah, because
I was in even thinking of Russ. I was thinking of others.
Who do you think about? Terrible Tim?
No, not even.
Oh, we had him.
We had Daddy Tom
Tim.
Ree.
Well, he wasn't. He's not around that much.
No, he's not.
Tom.
But he's still a freak. I booked him, and it was a great episode.
What's that? You know, you might know that documentary. In the mental asylum, Silicon Follies.
Yeah, what about it?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking
You
about.
know what I'm saying? It's like it's banned. It was banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people in that documentary all look like are Staten Island freaks.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
It's really true. You can look
Yeah.
the clips up on YouTube.
like
Well, you guys would kind of like embrace them and then like find ways to like to work with them.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Like
course,
like
yeah.
Jersey is not like Josh Wells is not embracing the freaks. He's
No,
just letting them
He's
sit in the wind.
no,
kind
but
of.
that's what I always loved about Fight Club.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Matt like always had these freaks on the show.
Yeah.
And he would like have like he would book like John Fox versus poor like Katie Boyle, and then you'll feel bad for Katie Boyle because she has to roast John Fox. John Fox is just reading off his notebook like, "Yeah, you look like a loser," whatever one of his jokes is,
Non-jokes,
but
anti-jokes.
like that's one of his probably jokes.
Yeah.
But like that's what I always liked about the show. And then it like went away for a second when you guys moved to the stands.
Yeah.
Because you obviously could not do that.
No. They shouldn't have made like a.
But now it's back to where you have these.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
can have these like.
And now you
weird-
have an abundance of them.
Yeah, I know. Too many.
Yeah. You have an abundance of
like
freaks. to
every
choose
I feel
from.
like almost like every month we've got like a new like.
Can we
like every
do-
week we got like a new kind of like weird one that people get excited.
You know how like Raw and SmackDown have a brand split? How can we do a freak draft with you guys?
I want to.
Comedy
Yeah,
Fight Club
We
and the
should.
Greg and Rob podcast.
Yo, I got a few of my own too.
You're on the. You're our main freak.
No, but like the freaks,
You're like Kurt Angle.
I know that, but I'm saying the freaks that I have in my the Let Us Be Idiots are some of the guys you don't know. We can cross promote them.
Well, we'll take all those. Don't
Oh,
give
yeah,
them away. Yeah, don't even put them on the list. Who are your freaks? What are you talking? Phil Philly?
No, I'm talking.
You are the Professor Chaos of life.
Yeah.
We want them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always my favorite battle every week is always whatever the weird one is. Like John Fox and Anthony Quinn was recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
So
good one
fun.
too. He's a good one too. We have a freak auction.
I like Anthony Quinn. I think he's a good guy, but he's also just like he's so emotional, you know.
Is
Oh,
he?
yeah.
He
Is-
runs
oh,
a weird open mic in Jersey where like they're just like these like dead child statues all over the place. It's like a metal bar.
Oh
And
Jesus.
there's like these weird like dead statues.
What, is it
And
like
he-
a metal like pro like the
heavy
statues?
metal.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
I
no,
meant.
the
like-
statues I think are made of plaster.
no, I'm just saying, is it a Christian like theme or is
No,
it
it's
like,
up to
no.
Sandy Hook kids. That's
Okay.
what it
It's just
is,
like
yeah.
it's just like some weird like sort of gothy bar thing. And then he shows up, and then he goes, "I'm Anthony Quinn," and then everyone claps normally.
Yeah.
And then he gets pissed at everyone for not like standing ovation. And then he kind of like fights there. It's very.
See, is it all? So you're saying he's emotional? I just always assume it's shtick. He's
it's
like a Gorman. Like when you talk to Gorman, it's like all shtick.
don't
And like
know.
Anthony
No,
Quinn,
'cause
they're like the
Joe-
same guy to me.
I think Joe doesn't care about anything. I feel like they're almost two sides of the same
But Anthony
coin,
Quinn's
where Joe cares about nothing and Anthony Quinn cares about everything.
well, everything is Anthony
Yeah,
Quinn,
Joe,
right?
Joe
Yeah.
like I don't even like I've hung out with Joe for like periods of time and like I still don't feel like I know who that guy is.
No,
Because
you and
Joe's
him,
like-
you and him were close at one point,
Yeah,
right?
we sang out a little bit like when he was
Yeah.
in Jersey, but he's the guy that like he only talks in bits. Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't
but
really,
doesn't
like-
Anthony Quinn do the same thing?
No.
He's being serious the whole
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, a little bit, but there's like something funny about him, but he's not like he doesn't talk in bits the way like Joe Gorman does.
I thought everything was like we'll talk conspiracy, and I just think it's a big joke. He's really genuinely talking to me about this kind of
He's
stuff.
like, man, I fucking love Bigfoot and shit, man.
Yeah, I thought that was like
he
a
does.
bit.
No,
I'd
yeah.
play along with him. I could treat him like my Uncle Anthony.
My Uncle Tony.
My Uncle Tony Quinn. I didn't know he was serious. Now I have to look at him in a whole different way.
You should.
Yeah, we're like hanging out. We talk about his baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I love this baby.
Yeah, when he did Fight Club, when he did the stand. At top, I was like, you have to understand his catchphrases. I'm Anthony Quinn. I
Yeah.
have a baby, and if you don't loudly clap when he says them, you're technically sandbagging him. Now that you know that, so he goes, I'm Anthony Quinn. Huge applause. And him and John Fox. But the best part of that was him just saying that calling John Fox a tough guy for no reason.
Wait, he called John Fox
Yeah,
a tough
take
guy.
that tough guy mid battle.
Big tough guy, John Fox. Oh my god, yeah, like it's like I said, it's such a
Yeah.
fucking great scene. Like you go to other scenes, like I mean, New York has
Yeah.
them, but like they just get buried. You can't do that. You can't.
Yeah, people they're trying to get somewhere, so they've got no time
Yeah.
to figure out like.
They have no time to be freaky.
Yeah.
Like some people are like weird in New York, but it's harder to get
you
like,
ever-
any. You have to be too many places.
You ever
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to someone in New York, and you ever talk to like a comic that you kind of respect,
Yeah.
and you see him around,
Mhm.
and then you're just like, and you talk to them for the first time in a conversation, maybe
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes, and you go, wow, this guy's fucking out of his mind. Like you'll just talk to someone, you respect them. Like this
Yeah.
guy's funny. I think he has and he gets booked on shows and shit
Yeah.
like that. And then you like 10 minutes, and then you're just like, oh, this guy's a fucking nut.
Like Usama.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Osama Sadiq.
yeah,
Yeah. I was talking to him one time. I was just like, I respect this guy. You know, he was a hustler. You know, did everything. You know, and I'm like talking for about 10 minutes. I was like, oh, fucking this guy.
He hasn't let me get a word in.
Yeah, he's just rambling. He's
Yeah.
just like, and they're
Yeah.
like doing voices. He's like, my mother, and how are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this. I got
Because
and then walk away.
To make an impression in New York, you have to be everywhere. You
Yeah.
could go to Wallace Social Club once a month, and people are like, "Oh, I know who that guy is."
Yeah.
Right.
But like if you like at
Oh, you
New
got-
York, you have to be everywhere.
You,
like
you gotta be everywhere at any time, like all the time. You gotta be like.
Well, that's why I never when I first started out, you did like the 3 mics a night kind of thing or
Yeah.
whatever, and I never understood the guys who were doing 3 mics a night, but all in the same neighborhood. Like if they went like especially like East Village, like it'll be the
Yeah.
pair and the lantern. And then you go to the climat, right?
Yeah.
It made no sense because you're running into the same people. If you're gonna do 3 mic, like when I would be in Williamsburg to Bushwick to
makes
the
more
city,
sense.
like because that way you're around every scene that night.
There was one time we did it. We were doing we did Creek in the Cave at 6, and then we ran out to Alligator Lounge.
Yeah.
6 and 8, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were called last, and the last 4 comics were me and Rob, Alex Davenport, Jamie Wolf, and this other kid. I forget who it was. And then we did Alligator Lounge, and the last 4 comics of the night was Alex Davenport, Jamie Wolf, and me and Rob, and that same kid. And it was so I don't know if someone made a phone call just to troll everyone, because that's something I would do. I would.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
totally.
would totally do that.
It's probably just at that time they just didn't know you guys that well. So
Yeah.
they're just like, we don't know these names, and then they're like, like whatever, we'll put in the end again. Oh man, one of the big New York weirdos, and I like the guy a lot, but is Steve Yenzel, but he's everywhere.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
because he's like he has an electric skateboard, so he can get everywhere.
Yeah.
He's in everything, just talking about what animals you can and can't have sex with.
But he had a dog. He had
He still has a dog.
well, you don't bring it around
No, it's
anymore.
still everywhere.
The dog stays home.
Yeah.
The dog's like, I'm not going tonight.
That's another dog that I
Yeah.
love dogs, but
Yeah.
I hate that dog. I kicked it once, and the dog is so stupid it sniffed my boot. It would take any type of affection.
And he's like a construction worker,
I
right?
don't think he has a job right now, but
So he just dresses that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he has that thing because he doesn't want to get hit by cars on his electric skateboard.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Holy shit, that's the fucking gayest shit I ever heard in my life. I thought he was a construction worker.
No, I was waiting for you to figure it
No,
out.
he's the idiot. Yeah. He assumed he's a
I
construction
mean,
worker.
he's on the electric
Yeah.
skateboard all
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
getting hit by cars.
And he just doesn't want to get hit by cars. Oh, fuck. Fucking
Oh.
Yensel.
Well, now I'll shit talk him because I thought he was this hard-bodied construction.
I thought he was like, yeah.
I had no idea.
I thought he was like a carpenter. I was like, this carpenter wants to just stand up at night and freak everyone out. Oh, no, yeah. At Creek in the Cave, there was a lot. There was
A ton.
There were a lot of fucking.
So you didn't have to go places. You could just be there all day.
There were
Yeah.
people that wouldn't leave. There was
Yeah.
one kid, Joseph Roberts, used to like sleep there. he would like fucking just.
Yeah.
Not
But he was
leave.
not like a freak.
He wasn't a freak,
No.
but that's a
Yeah.
freak move.
That's a freak move.
Yeah.
But then again, he might be like he might be a freak,
Yeah.
and because of the environment, he's not a freak anymore. Because there are people
Right.
that like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of comedians. If you take them out of comedy, you put them in like a normal environment, and you go, "Oh
nothing
my
else.
god,
Yeah.
oh my god, that guy's a nightmare."
Definitely.
Like there's a story like Andrew Castertano worked for Sam Stevens
Yeah.
at cause when they worked at an office job, and Andrew's hilarious in our world.
Yes.
But then they put him in an office, and he's doing impressions of the boss, and he's like humping a computer in the middle. He didn't last until 12 o'clock. Sam was like, "You gotta go," which is hysterical to us. But like, you imagine being like working there for 12 years, and you see this guy,
Yeah.
and he's doing impressions of the boss, and you're like, "Get this fucking kid out of here! We're trying to sell fucking
we're
pens."
trying to sell insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really talk about comedy at all to the people I work with because I just feel like I don't want to be like seen that way.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, like goofy comedy person, you know. Like,
Right. Then they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, tell me a joke."
Yeah.
They all found out
did comedy, like
Yeah.
through Facebook, because I always never told anybody.
Yeah.
And then one day, like, my fucking face popped up on the people and they were like, "Oh, you're a comedian? Tell us a joke." No.
Well, there is
They
nothing.
should know that you do comedy, because otherwise, like Bobby Sheehan, like he
Right.
used to work in an office, and like no one knew that he did comedy. And I was like, "What do they think you do at night?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, you have no girl. Is that the time?
Right.
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
no girlfriend. You do nothing at night. You don't drink. What do they think
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing?"
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened was I have a van,
Yeah.
right, that we take out in the community, right, and I'll be with my coworkers,
Yeah.
and I'll run into like Patrick Haggerty and
Yeah.
Darren Joseph, like during the day,
Yeah.
and I'd see them, and I say hello, and like Pat, like the way he looks. And like how awkward a conversation it is. He comes like walking into my van, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey, man." And I'm like, "I'll see you later." He goes, "I will be seeing you later." And then them not knowing the context, it looks like me and this guy are gonna have gay sex.
with a little twink.
Yeah. And then like a week later, I see Darren Joseph, and his nickname's the Boss Man. And I lower my window and I go, "Boss Man," and he goes, "What's up?" And then I just go, "Just saying hello." And these people think I have like a fucking gay sex with this old man, Boss Man guy.
No,
So
you're having sex with the twink Pat, and
Yeah.
and you're Darian's your sugar daddy.
without context, it seems like I'm just a
Yeah,
fucking
gay guy,
pervert who has sex with old men.
and possibly
Twinkie.
are underage men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those guys also aren't gay, but you can almost see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they could be like closeted gay guys. If you
course.
know,
They
just
can
don't know
play
them at all.
gay.
Yeah.
They can definitely play gay.
absolutely. That's where I was going with that.
They can easily play gay. So I had to like at least I couldn't wait for them to find out. And then they were like, "Oh, that's your friends you all see during the day," and I'm like, "Yeah. Thank God," because of that. And plus, I think my coworkers all thought I was gay for a while.
Well, they can sense that you have a secret. They just don't know. What
Yeah,
the
they
secret
don't
is.
know what it
Why
is.
wouldn't the secret be that he's gay?
Yeah. They're not
Why
gonna
would
put.
he not tell us he does comedy?
They're not gonna put two and two together.
Well, there is nothing worse than being like, turn to someone and be like, "I'm a comedian."
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Right.
it's awful. It's always the worst people too who do it.
When you get it
Yeah.
on the, because I'll get people from out here. Like one time I was at a bar, and I was well into comedy. This was only a couple of years ago, and this kid just turns around and goes, and I'm just talking to him for some reason, and he's just like, "Well, I'm a stand-up comedian," and I'm like, "Are you?" Like. Because I'm like, I'm a comic. I never seen you. And then he just started backpedaling. He's like, "Well, I did it years ago." And I'm like, "Do you know?" Like, I always just say Kirshner.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I know John." And like stuff like that. And I'm like, "We should come back into doing comedy." And then we tried to book him on like a show because I figured, he'll bring a bunch of people out.
Yeah.
And he said yes, and then bailed. Yeah.
I was at a bar recently out here, and it was actually kind of cool because I was getting recognized a lot. And fucking, I'm outside smoking a cigarette, and this kid comes out to me and goes, "Dude, you're so funny. I love your videos." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You're a comedian, right?" And I'm like, yeah. I mean, And he's like, "Dude, I love your videos, man." And he thought I was this guy, Eric D'Alessandro.
I don't know that guy.
He's like a Staten Island comic
Yeah.
from like, he does like these like bad like yell in the car videos.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
And he's like, "Dude, I need a picture. I gotta show it to my mom." Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Now I'm just fucking like, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. I'm like, "Of course I'm gonna fucking take a picture with you." I just take a photo. He's like, "Dude, this is great." It was like the day before Thanksgiving. He's like, "I'm gonna tell my mother tomorrow. I'm gonna show it to her. This is great. Eric D'Alessandro, I can't believe it." I'm just like, the guy was hammered, as was I.
Yeah.
I didn't like that cop in the show earlier. Hammered.
The guy got hammered.
The cop. Yeah.
Yeah, Mateo's making a callback.
A very late one.
Callbacks.
Callback.
Thank
Good
you.
callback.
Thank you.
We like your callbacks.
We like your
I like your
callbacks.
callbacks.
Thank
I
you.
like your callbacks.
Yeah, people from out here are fucking hilarious. They have no sense of humor. There's guys out
People in
here.
Staten Island aren't funny.
Terribly unfunny.
Well,
Like that's like the
Yeah.
thing. A lot of people are like, "Greg and Rob, you like the regular guy humor." I'm like, "No, I hate it. I can't stand it. It's the worst. That fucking like bullshit,
Yeah.
like union man fucking
It's
sense
not.
of
It's
humor.
it's very dated humor.
It's awful.
Yeah. Well, average people like that. Like they're not super funny, but they also don't need to be. Like the level of thing to be the funniest guy at the pizza place is not as funny as.
Yeah, of course,
When
yeah.
you take that guy, right, that
Yeah.
funny guy. That's why I hate
fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
Because when you take that guy, the funniest guy at the deli or the pizza place or the barber shop, then you put them on stage in front of people, they are terribly unfunny.
But I kind of like the fact that they're like terribly unfunny, but they're funny to regular people. Because I hate like the Piano Man, where John is behind the bar and was that the one? Who's the one who's the actor? Thinks he could be a movie star. Him?
If I could get out of this place.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. Like, because like the guy is just like, oh, he's
be the funny guy at the pizza
yeah,
place.
yeah. But don't be like a hidden talent.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that's true.
fucking, if you're gonna be a hidden talent, go fucking take an acting class or something.
There's a pizza place in Jersey City, and like this is the guy I'm thinking of. He's like this like tall balding guy, and we're there, and like there's just tons of people hanging out there. I have no idea if they work there, they're delivery people.
Yeah.
And then some woman comes in, and he goes, "Hey, it's the Dyke," and then everyone laughs, huge laugh.
Fuck, nailed them. That's pretty. Yeah, that's a fire ass joke. No, I don't care. Hey, it's
Saying a mean thing.
Yeah.
You know, and like not clever either, but like I'm like, oh, it's nice they're happy. She was happy, she loved it. She's like, that's me.
It comes in. Me, I'm Jane the Dyke. No, you take those like those funny people, and then every now and then you'll see like a person that's like naturally funny, and
Yeah.
you know they'll do well. But I can't stand it. I hate that shit. I'm on because I was on TikTok and I just see this lady on there. Her name's like Lisa Marie. She's like from here, from Staten Island, and the whole thing is her.
Oh, she's
complaining.
doing St. George Theater.
Yes,
I saw that on my Facebook page. She's from out here.
she's from here.
Let's get tickets. Let's go, dude.
Let's go see her.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Fucking. I'm like,
Laugh at Funny Marie.
maybe she's been doing stand up for a while. I don't
She's
know.
not a comedian.
She's not a comic.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
There's
so.
something slightly different about being funny on TikTok versus being funny on stage. Like
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
likability
Very
is
different.
a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very different.
It's different.
There's a way that hot girls can be funny on like TikTok that like if you do it on stage is like unbelievably like awful.
Yeah.
Cringe.
That's
It's
such
so
a great.
unlikable.
It's a great
Cringe.
point because that's a
Yeah.
great point because if you saw them on like because you scroll through TikTok and like you're like oh like a funny woman, you know, she's because literally the girl on TikTok that I'm talking
Yeah.
about, the whole act is about like, you know, shopping.
Is she hot?
Yeah.
She's not bad looking,
Okay.
not a bad looking lady. So they're people are just like, you know, very everyday.
Yeah.
Like she does a joke about her husband being lazy. Like people
Yeah.
love that shit on TikTok. Then when you see that live at a comedy show, right? When you do
Yeah.
stand up and you see something like that live,
Yeah.
there's a feel of the room that like a comedian only gets. Like
Yeah.
like last night I did a show where I'm like, oh, these people kind of like dirtier, hacky shit, but dirty hacky shit.
Yeah.
So I have to have a little bit of material for that.
Yeah.
And then I could work on my shit. Like a comedian who you know, a TikToker who's trying to do stand up, they're gonna go up and they're gonna think like, oh, like I'm just gonna do the shit I talk about naturally.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna go over because the collective is like, okay, let's hear what you really have to say, maybe.
Yeah, because in stand-up, there's a degree of like being there for the audience that's in front of you. So you have to like connect to the audience that's in front of you, and
Right.
like on TikTok, they put you in like the algorithm, so you go to the people that want to see what you're
Go
into.
right into
So
it.
like I mostly I do Instagram Reels, and I mostly just get hot chicks because that's what I end up like staring at like as I'm like flipping through.
Yeah.
And they'll be like funny, but they'll be like kind of funny and like I'm hot and you'll never get me.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is like funny on like Instagram.
Yeah.
But like terror, if you did that in person,
You have to
you'd be
commit.
like,
You have to
"Get
commit.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah. You have to commit to that character
Yes,
too. Yeah,
yeah.
like no matter what. Like you can never break.
Yeah.
And also if you get like heckled like by like some like fucking dude, like they literally have to stay in there. You have to stay in the fucking pocket and
Yeah.
like I'm hot, you can never fucking get this pussy. I don't understand why women don't ever like if they get heckled, like the easiest comeback
Yeah.
is always you can never get this pussy or you have a small dick. Nobody can come
Easiest
back
thing
from
to
that.
say.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's the easiest thing in
And
the
like
world.
they can't fist fight you. Like it's
Yeah,
just,
No.
yeah, you have all the power.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you-
people generally don't fight you on stage. I'll have like you ever like have someone heckle you and then you just like talk a bunch of shit and the second
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
off stage you're like, oh fuck, what did I do?
Yeah, all the time, all the time. Last night,
Last night.
last night, some guy, big ass fucking kid with a Rucker shirt.
Yeah.
Like Greg's just calling him like a virgin and shit like that. And then I'm like, and it's like, and we were hosting, and it was like
Yeah.
beginning of the show too. So I
When
was like,
the on stage magic goes off and you're just
oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
fuck, what is
And then
that?
I'm like, then we got to walk because it was at Tips.
Yeah.
And you got to walk through them basically, you know. And thank God this guy was on the left side of the room. And then I don't want to get the tap either.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, that was great, man. I don't want any audience
I
interaction.
hate it.
Yeah,
I want no audience interaction.
Yeah.
Like like not I don't mind when I'm on stage, but like when I
Off
get
stage.
off stage,
Yeah.
when like I don't want it. I'm like just
I try to be better about it. I feel like I should be better with it, but with Fight Club, like for opening Fight Club, I'm like very aggressive up top, like clap, get ready for this. We're gonna see blood. Like I'm yelling at everybody, and I did that one time, and then a guy afterwards like, "Good show, man." And we're talking like we're standing next to each other, kind of like for like a moment of silence. He's like, "You're not as intimidating off stage as you are on."
Well, that's very
Just
true.
because I'm just yelling at everyone like, "Shut the fuck up, we're doing comedy."
Because I forget that the character you do basically a Fight Club is an intense guy.
Yeah.
And you off stage and like here, like you're very reserved. There's no one more relaxed than you are. Maybe besides Josh Wells, and he also goes by the big dog. So,
which is just me. I liked calling people the big dog at mics.
Yeah.
And then I just gave it to him. I gave me and him the same nickname. And,
you got these two big dogs running around, but then like you pet their bellies. They're very calm. But that's interesting because you're doing it, but that's how you know the character's actually doing well because you're doing it.
It's over. It's over.
It's over. Like people actually think that you're this psycho who's ready to fucking bite their heads off.
Yeah, George, I'm glad you liked the show, man. It was fun when everyone was mean to each other.
I think one of the funniest things, and if you please, if whoever's listening, check it out. You battled Sean Gardini,
for
right?
The Comedy Fight Club
and I thought that was the funniest fucking thing.
I appreciate you saying that because in the room it felt very different.
It could have been
it translated to us on YouTube,
but it was fucking hilarious.
I was on the floor laughing.
For that, I wanted to do like a roast battle with like no traditional jokes.
Yeah.
I wanted to all be different, and I like had my friend Max come up and like read a prepared statement about what a good guy I was, and the whole audience was just like, "We hate this."
Yeah.
And then I just like act angry at Sean, and Sean's doing like actual good jokes, and like people are like, he's not taking the championship seriously. And then for round 2, I pretend beat up Max. I put him in the ankle lock, and then everyone's like, why is he doing this? And then at the end, when I did all 3 rounds where I did weird shit each time, at the end of it, people were like, okay, I kind of see what that was. And like a few people afterwards were like, that was funny now that I've seen the whole thing. But during it, it felt like everyone was a little bit mad at me.
We start with the ankle lock because he brought out the guy in the beginning, and then like I guess the first round didn't go too well.
That bombed, and then when I brought him back up, I could hear people in the audience being like, "No, not more of this." And then I beat him up, and then everyone like you'd think they would start cheering, but they were just like,
No,
what is
it
this?
was hysterical because you brought him out to make the prepared statement and then you lose the first round.
Yeah.
So then you bring him back up and you kind of blame the loss on him, and then you physically assault him. And that guy is so unlikable looking. He's a perfect he's a perfect goon because you do it with Bobby and everyone knows Bobby.
Yeah.
But also if you didn't, you'd be like, oh, I like this guy. Why is he being subjected to this man's shenanigans? But that guy Max is so unlikable.
And I was like yelling at Sean, like yelling in Latin at Sean.
Really
and Sean is not like.
Oh, he
like,
doesn't even break.
He doesn't. I don't think he likes roast battling to begin with. But like,
so
he also,
good at it.
He's great at it.
He's great. He doesn't like roast battling, but he also doesn't like these weird variables that I'm throwing out there. And so like even leading up to it, like we're friends, so he was like, all right, I'll do the battle, but I don't want it. I don't like it at any of this point. And we're in some like weird like penthouse in Times Square, just like some rich guy's living room. And I'm like screaming at him in Latin, and then like for round 3, I just
What are you, the devil?
I was yelling at him, "I'm the devil" in Latin. And then like I'm just like sitting there like rocking, and then for round 3, I just like look at this girl, Erin, who's like a fan of Fight Club.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You want to get out of here?" And then we just leave the room for round 3.
Now, did anything happen in the room?
No, I should have brought the microphone because the point was we were gonna like be in the other room yelling stuff. Like basically, I like looked at each round, each like joke point as like a different like weird thing that I can do, and then I just came back out with like no shirt on, and grabbed some condoms and walked back in. I was like doing like bits like that, and then at the end of it, people were some of them were like I get this, but Sean has to win.
Yeah. I mean, he deserves to win.
Also, I don't think Matt loved that I went too weird with it too.
Oh, really?
Which is because we're roommates and like
we're
like one of my best friends, so it's a little tough to like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was tension?
Not tension, but he definitely was like, Sean should have won that, and I'm kind of like.
The next night you were out.
Did he do win? He
Yeah,
did,
Sean
he
did
did
win,
win, right?
And we were at Big Nose Cade's the next night, and I don't know how we were talking about something entirely different.
Yeah.
We were saying like he's out of control, and then Sean walked into the conversation. He goes, "Who, Mark with his roast battles?" And we're like, "No, we're not talking about that at all." But what's the juice? Give us the juice.
Well, I think you were telling me about it, and I was like, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I put it on. I really couldn't find it
No, I
anymore. It's just so funny. I
appreciate
loved it. Because also the way Maxwell, right? That's
Max.
the way when you were
keep
putting
it at
him,
Maxwell. Say Maxwell.
when you're putting him in the ankle lock, the way he was lifting himself up, selling it. As if he wasn't going to tap, had me fucking pissing my pants. It was so fucking funny.
He got mad at an open mic at the Reserve Club
Yeah,
once, and he did one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I wasn't there, but I've heard about this.
Yeah. He got like something with his girlfriend at the
Yeah.
time, and he did one of the fucking because his girlfriend started going off. She started yelling like at people, and
She
like
was dating one guy, and then she started dating Max.
yes, that was the problem.
And
Okay,
everyone was like taking her ex's side.
right. Okay, all right.
Right.
So she started going crazy,
Yeah.
and they were like sit down whore and shit like that. I don't know, and
That's kind of thing you only do if you could never have a career with us.
Yeah.
It's like yelling at some woman, shit, sit down, whore.
So like she was like, fuck this, we're leaving, let's get out of here, Max. And then he walks out, and there was a camera like ours right here on a tripod. He knocked the camera over and goes, "Oops!" Like it was the douchiest but coolest thing I've ever seen. Done by a guy with that fucking face.
I heard it from multiple people, and some people were like, he meant to do it, and some people were like, he didn't mean to do it.
I don't
Which
know.
one
I
is it?
saw it go down. I don't know if I can't really tell, but he did go, "Oops!" like as
Oh, it was
if,
so
Oops
good.
thing. Yeah, some people I guess bought the oops. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't mean
It was
to.
partially villainous, but also like he was like
Yeah.
justified.
being
You
a
know?
doofus.
So the Wawa Social Club is sort of like the good, like almost like the good version of like what the Jersey Open Mic thing, and the Reserve Club is for being a lunatic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
for
yeah.
being crazy. It's like is this guy Carl who's like does like a lot of like
Oh.
wordplay jokes, and then he would host it with Yusef,
Yeah.
who is like a completely different genre of comedian.
Yeah.
and Yusef would be trying to get real
Just
with
leave it
everybody.
at genre person.
And then like while Carl's doing that, and then like they leave, and then now it's Kate and Carl, and they also have a dynamic that makes no sense either.
Describe the dynamic.
Well, it makes zero sense. Carl is this guy. Carl is a 50-year-old guy.
Yeah.
He's I would say
overweight.
portly.
Yeah, over
Portly,
He's
okay.
shaped like fucking Oliver Hardy. And you got Kate Lawler,
Yeah.
who we want on the show. Very bosomy.
Yeah.
It is a fair statement.
25 years old.
25,
goes
she
for it.
moves.
Yeah, goes for
Her
it.
jokes are like about like sucking dick and like
Yeah,
you
but
know,
they're-
like-
you
So
know,
are Carl's though.
But so is Carl.
Yeah, but he does it. But he does it with a ukulele.
And-
Yeah.
and they-
Carl's hosting style would be like, who brought the mayo? It's Mateo. Like that's the type of shit that he does. And then like they'll do a set up top where Kate will do normal jokes and Carl will jump in like off from the side. of
I've
the
never
stage with
done
Carl stuff.
I've
It's very
never done
strange.
their version of that.
Yeah.
in my-
I think we did it once.
I don't think I ever did what Kate was the host. But
Yeah.
but the flyer for it is almost like are you in the Bad Flyers group?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that. Their flyer every week makes it into the group because she looks missing in the flyer.
She looks missing, and
Look like a
Carl
missing
looks
girl.
like a distracted dad.
Yeah.
Who's not
I've
looking
seen
to
it.
trying to find his daughter.
It's in there every week.
But yeah, that place too. There was one time I went there. There was that comic Victor Ponte.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who was he?
He was in
And-
the period of time where people were
It was-
mad at everyone for saying
it
the
was-
word online.
Yeah, it was like
Oh
that.
no, he did a different thing.
He did-
no,
no,
he did was
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
what he did was horrific.
It was horrific.
What do you do?
He there was this during the George Floyd thing, right?
Yeah.
He had one of his black friends laid down, and he kneeled
Oh, I
on
saw that.
the black
George-
guy's
yeah.
like
Knee.
neck or whatever, or was it head?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And
That's rough for anybody.
that's a tough one.
That's tough. Yeah, I normally I'm like, I don't try to defend anyone like making a joke.
Yeah.
But that was rough. How could I? Who would come up with that?
Considering it was time sensitive too to go with.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
2 weeks after the incident.
So he was like banned from everything except
Except for Reserve.
From the
It was
Reserve
because
Club.
Yusef reached out to him and said, "You're always welcome to Reserve."
Thank you,
Just
Yusef.
like, completely. Just, like, no one at Reserve was on board with that. They were like, "Okay."
Yeah,
like,
he was getting heckled.
he was getting heckled.
I was never that.
Yeah. Oh no,
we
it
were
was,
there,
it was a
yeah.
must see. He was like one comic was just like in the back. Oh, the guy Mike O'Donnell, who's also kind of weird, but
he's-
Yeah.
that guy, I get the
I
impression.
don't know. I see him a lot in Lower Manhattan.
He was
He
a
used to
Greek
be.
guy.
Yeah,
he
he
was
used
a
to be. I think he might have gotten.
He wanted to
exiled.
fight him, the guy Michael O'Donnell. He
Yeah.
was like, I want him to say something. And I was like, but aren't you like
Mike
a Trump
O'Donnell
guy?
is like a big
No,
dude.
Yeah.
he's
Big
no, he's
Democrat,
not. Michael
yeah.
O'Donnell.
Yeah, he's a big liberal. I know.
Yeah.
The one of the greatest breakdowns ever at Reserve was there was this guy, like an older dude, like bald. I don't really fully remember his name. But he was doing like a bunch of he was like doing like a bunch of like jokes that like everyone had heard like for weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is at a point where like the weirdos at like a bunch of weirdos have been going to Reserve, and the normals were like sick of them.
Yeah.
Just like like quietly like seething at them. You
Yeah.
know? This is back when Jewish Jerry Seinfeld was a guy.
I heard. I never seen that.
There's a guy
I
in
saw
Jersey-
clips on the internet.
Yeah, there's a guy named Jewish Jerry Seinfeld that would like play the Seinfeld music as he did Seinfeld style jokes.
Yeah, that's the
And-
fire ass bit.
Which he has stopped doing. He's a normal now.
Oh,
He
okay.
switched out over. But like this guy was like doing jokes, and like slowly one by one everyone just like leaving the room as he was going.
Yeah.
And then like what was like, only a few of us left, and he goes, I don't feel like doing this anymore. And he gets off stage and he throws his fucking notepad down on the on the bar, and it rattles the chips.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I love.
And Carl is like, he's giving out like prizes, and the prizes are just like things that people that work at Reserve are giving away. And he's like, okay, this was this guy. Come get your prize. And he holds up like a canteen with like Mickey Mouse on it. He goes, I don't feel like it right now, Carl.
I don't think it's very fucking funny, Carl.
And he's like storms out. He's like, I feel like hitting somebody. We've never seen him again.
Oh, his name was Ken Fowler.
Yeah, Ken Fowler. Yeah, this
That's
whole
his name.
like whole breakdown like there.
Oh, if we
Carl's trying to give him like a Disney mug.
at the freak brand split draft, Ken Fowler's a top 10 pick for me. I would.
What was his?
He was always know why because that know why that story is so chilling. I would say chilling because Ken Fowler, I was always kind of normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then comedy broke him. That's why.
We got 4 minutes to go.
All right.
4 minutes.
Because he looks like Jeff Dunham's like angry puppet, the old man puppet.
Yeah.
And because I used to see him at I used to do the Rhino mics.
Yeah.
In upstate, and he was like a normal guy, sit there, pretty just not the funniest, but reserved. And to have a breakdown at a place like the Reserve Club,
It's funny.
yeah, no, but he was like, no, I when I heard that story, I'm like, oh my god, that guy's going through something. 'Cause
Probably.
yeah.
Or he just figured out what a waste of time a lot of this is.
I mean, maybe that's he was in like he would go to Gina DiMaggio's backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the
Now, have
during,
you ever had a meltdown on stage?
I've had embarrassing things. Like I've gotten too high on stage, and like I got too high one time on stage. I took all these edibles that I got from after like a fight club.
Right.
I drove to a mic, and then I was just like freaking out there. And then while I was on stage, I started apologizing to someone over like another time I got too high and ruined a party. I got too high at AJ Sherman's party. AJ Sherman's like a normal guy.
Yeah, I love
yeah,
AJ.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
at a
yeah,
party
yeah.
like his normal friends, and I got too high and fell over and hit my head on the dryer.
Oh
really?
my god,
Yeah.
really?
And I broke my glasses. It was really embarrassing.
Oh,
and then I got
shit.
too high at this mic, and I'm on stage. I'm like doing pretty well, but in the middle of it, I'm like, AJ, I got too high at your party, and I feel like it's never been the same between us since. And he's like, man, it's okay. I forgive you, man. And I'm like, what am I doing? This is not. You're not supposed to be doing this. In comedy.
I had a rough one over the summer. I was going through something, and I had to rush out from work. I had to rush out to Manhattan, the West Side, to make a 7 o'clock show, and I had to sit in traffic, and it was fucking hot, all this shit. So I'm texting the guy who booked the show. And he's like, all right, once you find parking, we'll start the show. We're going first. I was like, great, good, awesome. I had to take the bullet while I'm already in a rush. Finally find parking. Run to the restaurant. It's back of a vegan. It's like a vegan restaurant, West Side. It's like, oh no, this is gonna be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Go in there. Already, it's like a hell show, like their ambush show. Just fucking, no one's expecting comedy. Host goes up. He's terrible. He does maybe 5 minutes.
Well, he wasn't terrible, but he didn't do his time.
Okay,
yeah,
he
yeah.
wasn't terrible. Whatever. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Nice guy. Whatever. But that does 5 minutes. Him and I go up, and okay, like it's just gonna be a workman set,
Yeah.
right? Start working them a little bit, crowd work and shit like that. Then I'm like, all right, they're not on board. So that I'm gonna do. I did material. I'm just gonna bomb with the material.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting the beats. Like you know when you bomb.
Yeah.
And but you still hit the beats.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
I've
how
seen people do it, but I'm incapable. Of
But it's fine. Like
Yeah.
like just get through the set. This woman turns around and is like you're not funny. And once she said that, I was like, you fucking like, oh really, like I'm not funny. So I started having a back and forth with her.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, okay, I'm not funny. I don't give a shit. Get back into a joke. Get the light. Before I leave, she says something else.
Well, what triggered it was you said, or maybe I said, one of us was like, oh, the lady, yeah, you're not exactly my demographic. It's not really for you. And she was like, well, who's it for? It doesn't sound like it's for any. It was a really, like, like, it was a fucking, all right, go on with your part, because I don't, I have the word on my mind.
Just go.
Yeah.
Say it.
So I turn around to her, and now I'm like this. Now I'm like, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm not funny. I'm not funny. You know, I'm like, all right, whatever. You fucking cunt.
I'm gonna cut it. You want to go on?
I'm still going.
Okay.
You finish the story. Hang on.
Okay.
Every minute he gets like a little bit
He
closer.
does it all the time. This is all the time.
Go on. Say.
So I go, you fucking cunt, and now the woman's like fucking cursing me out, and now I'm like, what, you know, like the guy, the booker is like, give me the light like this now, and I'm like, no, fuck that, fucking, I don't give a fuck, kick them out, get them fuck out, they suck, you know. I'm telling them, I'm like trying to get the audience to like go with me too, like, like they're gonna ruin your night, they're gonna ruin your fucking night, this fucking cunt, and she's like, this is not how you're supposed to talk to people, all this shit. So it turns out the woman, you know, very offended.
Yeah.
Booker going up to apologize. Turns out the woman complained to the manager and was like, you know, like I want a free, you know, I want everything for free.
Take care of the bill.
Take care of the bill. She got that done. So it turns out I was kind of right. She was a cunt.
Plus, she wanted to sue us.
And she wanted to sue us too. Turns out, yeah. So, Mateo is going out of his mind. He's
we gotta
wild.
cut it.
He wants to cut it
real quick.
Yes.
I did a Christmas special, Merry
Oh,
Christmas Big
that-
Dog,
oh,
with
yeah.
X's instead of vowels. It's on Snack Attack Comedy on YouTube. Also Comedy Fight Club. If you can check it out, I appreciate
And
it.
that was very funny.
Which
saw
I
that.
forgot to mention.
I forgot to mention that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
cut it.